It really just keeps getting better and better. So let's get started. I'll first give a summary of what happened in this issue before delving into my own review. So if you're only interested in the review, check out the timestamps on this video. So here is what happened in issue 5 of the High Republic. We jump right into a battle between the Jedi and the Hutt Cartel. Due to the overwhelming number of the Hutt Cartel, the Jedis are kept on the back foot. We see Ceret trying to conduct an evacuation while Keeve Trennis is busy deflecting laser bolts. During the battle, a Gamorrean riding a rancor emerges. Reaching out with the Force, Ceret attempts to stop the beast in its tracks, but unable to hold it off for long, he is then stamped on by the beast itself. Flashback to the time just before the battle, Avar Kriss is engaged in a tense negotiation with Myarga the Benevolent. The Hutt orders the Jedi to get off their planet, as the villagers have signed a contract with the Hutts to provide grain in exchange for protection. However, Sskeer clearly understands that this is nothing more than a protection racket. Still under the influence of the Drengir and mixed in with his own frustrations, he lashes out, grabbing the Hutt with the Drengir arm. As the conflict ensues, we learn that things are not going so well on the Starlight Beacon. The Drengir that emerged from the dead Hutt they recovered back in issue 2 have spread like wildfire, infecting numerous Jedi. We see Vernestra Rwoh and Imri Kantaros desperately fighting against these creatures, when Imri is suddenly impaled by one of the monsters from behind. But before the Drengir could finish him off, Vernestra transforms her lightsaber into a light whip, managing to free her Padawan with it. Back on Sedri Minor, Ceret is trapped between the jaws of the Rancor, barely holding it open. But from behind, Tarek emerges, kicking the Gamorrean off the Rancor before putting the beast to sleep. Meanwhile, Sskeer is still battling against the Hutt, who shows remarkable strength as he whips Sskeer into a nearby building. Keeve then force pushes the Hutt away. Realizing that Sskeer was still under the influence of the Drengir, she slices his arm off, hoping to sever the connection. However, this only serves to enrage the Drengir within Sskeer, and the former Padawan engages her old master in a duel to the death. Meanwhile, Kalo is busy packing up his belongings, desperate to get away from the battle. But the villagers then catch him and proceed to beat him, but before they could continue, another Rancor bursts through the building, allowing Kalo to make his escape. As Keeve and Sskeer battle, Sskeer manages to break free of the Drengir's control temporarily. During this brief moment of clarity, he confesses to Keeve that he is losing his connection to the Force, that more and more recently he is losing his Force ability. When Keeve asks him why he didn't inform her earlier of his struggles, he admits that he was ashamed of letting her down. Sskeer then explains that the Drengir are almost contagious. All that is required is a seed for the Drengir to spread again. As he explains this, we see Kalo in the background receiving his comeuppance. Avar, who is then battling the Hutt, attempts to reach out to forge a temporary alliance to fight against the Drengir. She then asks Estala Maru to reroute the distress calls coming from all over the galactic frontier. The Drengir issue has spread and have been attacking not just the Republic but the Hutt Cartel as well. Finally seeing sense, the two forge an unlikely alliance against the Drengir. As Sskeer and Keeve discuss on a plan, Sskeer explains that in order to stop the Drengir, they have to manipulate the impulses of these creatures. Using Sskeer's connection to the Drengir, Keeve uses a mind touch in which she uses the Force to invade Master Sskeer's mind. Then, using Sskeer's connection to the Drengir, she convinces them that the harvest is rotten and that they all need to run. This thankfully works, and the Drengir begin to flee the battle. Back on the Starlight Beacon, the Jedi are reporting the same thing. The Drengir are now fleeing the scene. But in victory comes a price. Master Sskeer, with only white in his eyes, lies slumped in Keeve's arm, leaving us to wonder if the Trandoshan Jedi has paid the ultimate price. Holy moly, this issue was amazing. No amount of words can express just how exciting and gut-wrenching the entire issue was. What we see here is the culmination of months of build-up throughout all the issues and a whole lot of patience. The issue really solidifies the threat that is the Drengir, and while the Jedi may have managed to keep them at bay for now, it is still an issue that remains unresolved. The fact that the Drengir have already spread far and wide across the galactic frontier just goes to show how widespread the issue is. We also get some really heart-to-heart moments between Keeve and her former master. In the previous issues, we're given a sense of a growing distance between her and her master, but now with Skeer's confession and the pressure of battle, everything is laid bare. However, seeing Sskeer at the end of the issue makes me worry if he is still alive or not. I certainly hope that he is. And while Sskeer may still be alive, it does make me question whether or not he will be the same again. The mind touch ability that Keeve uses on him may have done some irreparable damage to his mind, so we'll just have to wait and see. Seeing some Vernestra Rwoh action with her light whip was insane as well. Even though we got to see it in a test of courage, it was really more of a tease. In this issue, we really get to see her flex her skill. That being said, I do wonder what will happen to her now that she has revealed she possesses this weapon. As we learned in a test of courage, Vernestra Rwoh has mostly kept it a secret, given that it is a combat form used in the past to fight the Sith, so it'll be interesting to see how the rest of the Jedi react to this. The issue also gives us a brief sense of how powerful the Hutt Cartel are, even more so than any other period in Star Wars canon. In the High Republic, it is entirely possible that the Hutts are even more powerful than they were during the Clone Wars or the Empire. Seeing them ride rancors into battle brought some really refreshing perspectives on these creatures beyond just being caged animals used to entertain. The combat artwork is just so engaging and stunning, and just goes to show how much care has gone into this series. It is crazy to think that the first arc of the High Republic series is already over. I am so excited to see where things go from here, and Kevin Scott has really brought this era to life with this series, so a massive compliment to his skill as a storyteller. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want more. As always, I am the Lost Acolyte,
and I have spoken.